Again, thank you for joining me on this stream. We got a lot to cover today, so I might just go ahead and jump into the film. First of all, I want to ask you, how many of you have seen The Tall Man? How many of you have seen this film? Because I've never heard of it until you guys want it, until Protector King asked for it to be among the options. And apparently you guys wanted me to check this out. Because I think that was one of the ones that, like, won by a goddamn mile, chat. Dark Slayer. Never saw it. Shouldn't you never seen it? And Iron Legion, never heard of it. Strange Sarah, I haven't. See, most people just haven't. Never seen it. Good to see you, Coco Chops. Sounds like I still won't. I don't know. You might enjoy it. I don't know. At least certain scenes. I mean, okay. Kind of give you a basic premise, chat. Because, again, a lot of people just don't know what this film is. It's pretty much a kidnap thriller. It came out in 2012. It was a commercial and critical bomb. It did not do well. I think it got like a limited release too. Just to kind of give you the whole, gist of it. It's a kidnap thriller. It takes place in this like very rural, rundown old mining town called Cold Rock in Washington State, chat. It's been like that way for years, and there's been this spring of kidnappings of children for the last several years, chat, and they haven't found any of the kids. They haven't found the culprit, chat. But there's a legend that's been created about the community, and the townspeople have called him the Tall Man. It's always protect your kids from the Tall Man. All right, don't have them go out, and play in the rust-colored streets. Keep them inside where the asbestos is and away from the Tall Man, chat. That's the gist of the film. Better Team, of course you saw it. I saw it because I thought it was about the sun. Oh, yeah, you know what? I could definitely see that too. Because at first you're like, is this going to be like a supernatural thing? And I was like, I'll let you know. like the premise alone, it's because they always call it's like this evil entity, the evil that hangs over the town. It's like, okay, so is this thing like some supernatural Slenderman-esque figure? It's like, I don't know. I'll tell you though, chat. This is a spoiler review, goddammit. Oh, Jim, again, who watches movies nobody has ever heard of besides some of our mothers? Including me. You can count me among them. Duma. Chris Ayers, Jessica Biel is one of the actresses where every time I see her, she's in something. I mean, like, oh, shit, this is going to be bad. So I'm not even familiar with, like, her filmography. I know of her, but I can't think of, like, a Jessica Biel movie off the top of my head. It's nothing's coming to mind, at least at the moment right now, chat. But, more terrifying if it was the short man. Yes. Because then that would be Hey Arnold, chat. No, because fuck, it'll be Hey Arnold and he'd be helping the community, as we all know. Hey Arnold's a good kid, so it would be the opposite of that, J-Cuz. Come on now. Alright, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre remix? See, I didn't even know she was in that. It's crazy. Alright, guys. Alright. So now we're going to get into it. I pretty much showed you the initial premise. You get a nice little voiceover, a nice little narration, chat. We're introduced to Cold Rock. This place sucks. When they shut down the mine, chat, the community, they just went into the shitter. It's like for the past, 20 years, I'll say 30. They really point out how many decades has passed. I'm going to say a good old 20 years. The town is run down. People have moved away. The people are living there. They're all alcoholics. They're drug abusers. All the highlight of the fucking town, chat, is the diner. That's pretty much it. It's the diner and the convenience store. And it's like, if those are your, the hallmarks of your town, then get the fuck out of Dodge, okay? Don't stick around here. But a lot of people can't stick around, chat, because the economy's just turned to shit there. No one can escape it. Everyone's in abusive relationships. Everyone's families hates each other, except for like a key few characters, chat. But thankfully, chat, the town has Jessica Biel. Thank God for Jessica Biel, because she's holding it down right now, okay? She operates like the emergency clinic, chat, and she is a doctor and a nurse and a baby birther all in one. She's all three, chat. She does all those jobs. Although, listen, she's not equipped to birth those babies, so don't bring any, heavily pregnant women to her, chat, because she'll tell you right, says, I am not prepared for this right now, okay? I don't even know if I can save this woman. But, chat, so it opens up. Get that nice spiel, introduced to Jessica Biel, but we see these three women, and they're in a car, and they're fucking speeding down this goddamn street. We see a hobo, he's waddling out of the convenience store, chat. He's got a beer, it's like, this is the thing he bought today. He saved up all his quarters, chat, and he's, oh, it's so good. And a fucking, he hits him, chat. It hits him, and he goes to the side of the road, but it doesn't matter, because these three ladies, they have to get to the medical clinic. We got a girl in here. She is screaming. She's squealing, chat. We have the mother we expect, and she's not carrying on anything, chat. She's She has to help her daughter get to the emergency medical clinic with Jessica Biel chick. Because Jessica Biel, she's the hero of this movie. And so the mother, she gets her daughter there. She has her other daughter there. She's a mute, chat. You don't find out until like 5 minutes later. I'm going to tell you right now, she's a mute and she likes to draw things. And, you know, I forget, what's the mother's name? God damn it. Carol? Is it? No, it's not Carol. God damn it. What's her name, chat? Because Jenny's the daughter who's a mute. And then you got Carol. God damn it. I don't know. It's the mom, chat. She's just the mom now. And so Carol is the daughter. She's just freaking out. And, you know, the mom, she's like, Jessica Biel, please come help us. And Jessica Biel, she runs outside. She's like, what's going on? It's Carol. She just started screaming. I don't know what's going on. She hasn't stopped. And like, okay, let's bring her inside. Before she does, chat, they're like, I can't move. And they open up her coat, chat, and she's preggo. She's super preggo, 9 months at the very least. And Jessica Biel tells her, what did I say in the narration? What did I say? Yes, I am a doctor and a nurse, and I can birth the babies, but I am woefully unprepared for it. Fuck it. Let's get it in here, chat. So they go, and by the way, the emergency clinic is an abandoned school. Apparently the schools have all shut down in Cold Rock, so no kids go to school. And she has her little makeshift clinic literally in a classroom, chat. I mean, not even the nurse's room. It's literally in a classroom, but whatever. And so they tell Jenny, go outside, go ahead and do your drawing. Jenny, she doesn't speak. She's a mute, chat. So she's like, I'm going to start drawing. Has to be drawing a weird fetus creature with little stars shooting around. And then we cut back to the makeshift clinic, chat / classroom. And Carol, she's just trying to birth this baby. Jessica Biel's like, okay, you gotta push, honey. That's what you gotta do. And then she's like, look at the mom. She's like, it's not looking good. I am woefully unprepared, as I said before in the narration. But, you know, Carol, she gives a little good push, chat. She's like, oh, the baby's breached. And she goes, ooh, all right, well, the legs are coming first. But that's okay. That's no issue whatsoever. Just you guys gotta push really hard. And then Carol, she pushes that little baby right out of her. And then it's not making a sound, though, chat. It's not crying. It's like, ooh, that's not a good sign. But it's okay. Because Jessica Biel says, I'm on. Okay, Mom, go ahead and take Carol out of the room. Carol's just like, what? Why is the baby not crying? Mom's like, don't worry about it. She's Jessica Biel. She's the savior of the goddamn town. She's going to save the baby. Jessica Biel's like, I'm going to try. And then Chad, she just, starts patting his back. Does CPR. I don't know how you do CPR on a baby. I think he just pats back a lot. And eventually, boom, the Jessica Biel magic work, chat, and the baby's back. It's living. It's breathing. Eventually, she gives it to Carol, who's in another classroom, chat, and they didn't even bother to clean this fucking classroom up. There is literally trash all over the place. Like, I get it. Cold Rock is a shitty place, all right? You're operating a bad in school. But can you at least clean maybe 2 of the rooms and not have, like, all this goddamn tetanus? All this tetanus and asbestos surrounding this child? Like, these are the first things it's seeing and breathing in, okay? Come on. Be a little bit better. A little proactive. Well, it doesn't matter. So Carol, she's like, oh, my baby. And then, chap, we cut to Mom and Jessica Biel. And Jessica Biel's like, so, Mom, did you even know your daughter was pregnant? She's like, I had no idea. And Jessica Biel's like, was it Steve? And Mom's like, might have been Steve. He's always hanging around the girls. They listen to his every word, and he just popped one in there, and that's how it was. Now, the fucked up thing about this is, Chad, Jessica Biel brings up, now, Mom, you're dating Steve, aren't you? And she goes, yeah, I'm dating Steve. But, we got a thing going on. We fools around with my daughter. And it's like, wow, okay, this is fucked up. That is not a happy family, Chad. That's not a healthy family unit. So just to remind you, Steve, I think his name is Steve. I don't know. Oh! Armored Saiyan with the 2,000 biddy donation. Keep doing what you're doing. Armored Saiyan, let me raise my glass to you. May the wings of liberty never lose feather. You are shaking the pillars of heaven. You came here to kick ass and chew bubblegum, and you're out of bubblegum, sir. Thank you. That was so kind of, man. Right after I finish this review, we're going to go ahead and do a poll, chat. Armored Saiyan, you got some options. Think on it, my friend. Think on it. I'm just in the middle of the redneck family chat where you have Mom and the daughter and they're sharing the boyfriend, and it's weird and gross, and that's just, and the mom's like, man, that's what are you gonna do? That's just the way it is here. Jessica Biel, you know how shit this town is now the mining went down. Jessica Biel's like, Yeah, it's pretty true. So, Mom, you know, she's like, listen, we're not going to take the kid to the hospital. We're going to handle it this way because Mom has pride, apparently. At least that's what Jessica Biel's narration's saying. Well, it's not Jessica Biel's narration, Chad. It's an unknown narrator. I always like to say that it's Jessica Biel, but it's not. And matter of fact, it's the mute kid who later talks in the movie, Chad. But that's not important right now. That's not important. And so, Jessica Biel, she goes outside. She meets with Jenny, Chad. Jenny, she's just drawing, you know, she was drawing the fetus, and she's just destroying the fetus. What? Woo! Armored Sane with the 700, well, how much was that? 750 biddy donation? Dude, you have been incredibly generous today. Thank you so much. Thank you. Again, you're shaking the pillars of heaven as we speak. Thank you so much, man. Darkslayer, what's up? Is my automod being mean? What's he doing? Oh, I'll allow that. I'll allow that, Darkslayer. I will allow that redneck shit. Why is my mod? See, chat, I didn't set up my mod to, like, do certain words. I don't know. I guess redneck is a slur? I don't know. There you go, Darkslayer. Sorry about that. But, chat, so Jessica Biel, she's talking to Jenny. Jenny's not talking. She's a mute. She's racing that baby. And she's like, Jessica, have you been practicing your speaking skills? And, you know, she's writing the journal chat. So clearly she hasn't been. She's like, no. And she's like, well, you want to talk about it? And she says, Steve. Oh, talk about it. You know what's happening. Steve is fucking my mom and my sister. It is bad, okay? This is not a healthy family unit. Jessica Biel's like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry you're going through that right now. And so then, chat, Carol and Jenny and the baby and Mom, they all go home, and Jessica Biel, or no, the mute girl, in her narration, talking about pride. And it's a prideful community, but it's hurting the folks here. They're not getting the help that they need. And then, chat, we cut to the next day, and Jessica Biel, she's coming by the house to check on the baby. On Carol's baby. And who does she meet there, chat? Fucking Steve. And he immediately is an asshole. He's like, we don't want your kind around here, Jessica Biel. Well, your book learning and fancy words. Jessica Biel's like, listen, you dumb hick. I am here just to check on the babies. I want to check on my baby. I don't even know where my baby is. He doesn't know where the baby is, chat. Jessica Biel's like, oh, was it the tall man? It was the tall man that took him. That might be it. And so Jessica Biel, she goes up the stairs. You know, Jenny, she's drawing somewhere, I don't know. And then Mom's in there, and Mom's like, yeah, I just sent Carol and the baby away to Seattle just to get out of here, you know, away from Steve. And she basically feels like, you gotta leave Steve. And Carol's like, you know, you think I would leave him? You think I would leave him after he literally cheated on me with my daughter, who was underage, by the way, so he's kind of like, that's, you know, number one, not consensual, but he should also be in jail. He's technically a sexual predator. But there's something about him I find charming. It's like, so automatically, chat, you're just like, Jesus Christ. Come on. I know this is supposed to be like a very terrible family unit, but are you shitting me? Already? Oh my God. Pedophile. Oh, God. It's not Steve from Blue's Clues. It's not Steve. No, do not besmirch his name, Chad. He's a goddamn saint. I don't care who came after. I don't know who that other guy was in the blue shirt or in the orange shirt. I only know Steve, okay? Anyway. And so, Jessica Biel's like, all right, I mean, you should, what about Jenny? She's like, she's all right. She's just doing her little drawings, little doodles. And Jessica Biel's like, you should encourage that. And Mom's like, don't worry about it. So Jessica Biel, she goes out there, chat. And she goes and talks to Jenny again. She's just writing, you know, and everything. She's not really communicating, using her words, chat, using her words. And all of a sudden, Jenny says, I seen the tall man. I've seen him because Mom was concerned about the tall man taking Carol's baby. And, you know, it's like, she asked, what's her name? Jessica Biel, have you ever seen him? Jessica Biel goes, I have seen him. You should stay away. And Jenny goes, ooh, maybe I don't want to stay away. Maybe I want him to take me. And Jessica Biel's like, that's an important plot point later. We'll turn to that next time. And so then Jessica Biel, chat, she's like, whoo, what a day. She visits all these people and all these downtrodden family units, chat. But now she's like, I need my noon coffee. Let's go to the diner, which is the most popular place in Cold Rock. Second most popular, the convenience store where they sell cheap beer. And so Jessica Biel, she's just sitting down, chat. Again, you got the woman who operates the diner. You got the downtrodden sheriff. You got all the typical townsfolk you would expect. I mean, they all complain the whole time. You know, the diner owner, she serves Jessica Biel some coffee, and all of a sudden, chat, from the outside they go, there she is, and you see this woman go outside the window, and what the fuck's her name, chat? It's this red-haired woman. What is her name? Oh God. What is her name, Chad? Hold on. I think it's right here. Oh damn it! I always forget. No, that's not it. No. Is it Tracy? Is it Tracy, chat? I don't know. Fuck. I can't remember any. See, the name, these people are so generic, and I can't remember any of their goddamn names. Oh my God. Because I want to call this one, like, Other Mom. I don't know what the other person's name is. Oh, here it is. It's Mrs. Johnson. It's Mrs. Johnson, chat. That's who she is. So we got Mrs. Johnson. And they're like, oh, there's Mrs. Johnson. She's never been the same since her son was kidnapped. And when the government kicked her out of her home, chat, because her son was taken by the tall man. It's terrible. And she's like, by the way, to go, meh. And she just looks directly at Jessica Biel and goes, you. And then she like wanders off, chat. And Jessica Biel's like, you know what, guys? You're always talking shit about Mrs. Johnson. I'm gonna give her my, you know, she could use a cup of coffee. Everyone's like, I'm not paying for that cup of coffee. She's like, fine, I'll give her my cup of coffee. The one thing that gets me through the goddamn day is this little shit dinky cup of coffee. I'll take it out to her. And she goes, hi, Mrs. Johnson. Mrs. Johnson goes, you. And Mrs. Johnson wants nothing to do with Jessica Biel, nothing to do with that coffee, and she wanders off. Jessica Biel's like, whew. Well, this has been an emotional day. I'm gonna call it early. I'm gonna head back to my house on the outside, on the border of Cold Creek, chat. And she goes there, or Cold Rock, where the fuck this place is called. Cold Rock. She drives out there, chat, and she lives in a fucking opulent house. I mean, it's not a mansion, but it might as well be compared to what these schmucks in Cold Rock are living in. And she walks out, chat, and there's the nanny right there. It's like, oh, you learned Jessica Biel that she's a mom, too. And the nanny's like, oh, he was so precocious today. He was so excited about science class. And she's like, oh, that's wonderful. And nanny's like, I'm going to go help and get the groceries out of the car. You go and see your son, Jessica Biel. Jessica Biel's, I will do just that, nanny. She goes up there, chat, and she sees little David. Little David, he was so excited. He's like, oh, what we did in science class, we exploded volcanoes, and we put the Pepsi Cola in there and the Mentos, and we go, psh, and Jessica Biel's like, that's fucking awesome! You are so cool, my son. I love you so much. And she just snuggles with him and everything, chat. She's talking to the nanny. It's like, oh, it's a wonderful family. But we learned that she was once married, but her husband, he's no longer among us, chat. He passed away. And the townsfolk, they want to remind Jessica Biel every time they see her, you know, your husband, he was a great member of this community. It's a shame he died. Like every single person she sees. And I imagine that's the only thing they have to talk about. They just want to see Jessica Biel, she's like this bright ray of fucking sunshine. And we're like, fuck you, sunshine. And we want to bring you down to our level, okay? We want to make you feel just as depressed and economically depressed as we are, Jessica Biel. We know you live in that goddamn, mansion. Might as well be a mansion. So we got to bring it down our level. So always remind her about a dead husband, chat. But that doesn't bring Jessica Biel down, chat, because she loves her son so much. And she's like, whoa, well, it was great hanging out with you, kid. I'm going to go take a nap. Going to go to sleep now, okay? Going to tuck you in. Excellent, nanny. You patrol the halls as you do. You do your thing. I'm going to go to sleep. And then, chat, apparently she hears like a noise at night. Hours pass. She hears like a little noise. Like, what was that? And she's like, you know what? I'm not even going to bother checking on my kid. I'm just going to go ahead and get some milk, chat. And she goes downstairs and gets some milk out of the fridge. And there's a terrible fucking shot because she's in like a third of the frame and like behind her, except there's no like soft focus or anything like that, chat. They're like, oh, there's the nanny. But like, it's just the frame. She's occupying 1/3 and the nanny is fucking tied up literally in the fucking pantry, just beating the shit. And Jessica Biel's like, I'm gonna keep swigging this. And then she just runs like, oh my God, the nanny! And she goes over, the nanny's like, and the fucking got the shit kicked out of her too, chat. Bloody, broken nose and everything. Jessica Biel's like, what happened? What happened? She goes, they took him. They took him. And she's like, oh no. And she runs up the stairs, chat. And David, he's gone. The little tyke is gone, chat. She goes, and by the way, the nanny's still tied up. And then she runs back downstairs, chat. She sees that the door's open. And she just fucking books it, chat. She goes after that kid. Oh! Omega! Thank you to the host. As I always say, guys, the hosts do mean a lot to me. Helps us spread the word of the night. So thank you again, Omega. Welcome to the stream. Oh. Does she live in Wayne Manor? Not this time. They didn't use the Wayne Manor house for this movie. They could have, though. I mean, that would have been fucking hilarious if they did that. But now Jessica Biel, she's in Mama Bear mode, chat, and she just wants to chase after this guy. And as she's doing that, she's running down the fucking road. She got that Tom Cruise run, chat, because she spots a car. She spots a car, and it's just driving. She says, I'm going to activate my Mama Bear powers. Go... And she chases after this thing, chat, and she manages to grab a hold of it, and she, again, holds onto it like this while she's being dragged, like, all the way from the bazungas to bazingas on concrete, chat, at least going, I'm going to say 30 to 40 miles per hour. Let's just say that. The bazungas all the way down her tippy toes being dragged on concrete. It looks terrible. Just being fucking, she's like, ah! I mean, just the worst burn possible, chat. Remember when in school, when they give you that, what's that rug burn? What was that called? That Indian rug burn or something like that? And goes, it hurts. It's like that, except everywhere. All from here, chat, the bazungas to the tippy toes. And it drags her for a good couple of feet, okay? It's not like, like a foot or something. No, it drags her for a bit. Arms look like fucking rubber, too. Terrible practical effect they were using, chat. It was an actual person holding on, and it does not look good. Eventually, she lets go, and she goes, and she tumbles away, chat, and not a fucking single nick on her. It's like, bullshit, your bazungas would be all the way back there, Jessica Biel. What are you talking about? They'd be not there anymore, chat. She'd be a little flat-chested. And the car also stops, so, a few feet ahead, Jessica Biel's like, okay, I'm totally fine. I'm like, and she does a little, spine, chat. And she goes underneath the car. And then the driver comes out of the car, chat. It's like he's completely in a hoodie. It's the tall man. Just so David. And so he's like, the tall man goes in the back of the car. And he opens the back of the car, chat. And then he shuts the doors. That's apparently where David might be. And then Jessica Biel, then Jessica Biel, she's like, okay, fuck it, I'm gonna get in the front seat of the car. She opens the passenger side door, chat, and a fucking Rottweiler, a fucking German Shepherd just starts eating her face, chat. She's like fighting with this goddamn thing. She's screaming, and, she's like ripping at her arm. She's like, she has a fucking bathrobe, okay? And this goddamn German Shepherd is just gnawing on her arm, just ripping it off and everything. And she's like, she's using to block her face, which is smart. That's what you want to do. You want to get in the jugular, chat, of the face, and that's it. You're done. And she takes a big old rock, right in the back of the German Shepherd's head, chat. And then she's like, okay, I'm going to get back in the car. And she sees David's in the passenger seat, too. The dog was almost there protecting David. And she's like, I got you, David. But then the tall man shows up behind her and goes, and knocks her out. And then, chat, the Jessica Biel, she comes to, and she finds herself tied up in the back of the car. And what's directly in front of her? It's the goddamn German Shepherd. He's going, and it's like Jessica goes, I want to fuck with you now. My arm is literally hanging off by a fucking thread. I got meat chunks taken out of me. My bazungas are all the way back there. At least, I'm going to say at least 5 miles down the road at this point. It's not looking good for Jessica Biel, chat. But she's a crafty one. She's smart. She's a smart cookie, as the townspeople say. And so she manages to find, because this person has a fucking barrel in the back of their car that's like one of those burned out hobo barrels. And it's like a part of it is the part of the metal sticking out. So she just breaks her bonds that are, with like rope. And just, she's free, chat. She punches she punches the dog. She punches the dog, and then she reaches through the upper window where the tall man is, and she bursts through that window, and she starts wrestling with the tall man, chat, and the dog is ripping at her leg from behind. It is quite a goddamn scene. It doesn't make a lot of sense, but Jessica Biel basically has the tall man in the chokehold, German Shepherd, gnawing at her ham hocks, chat, all that good stuff. David, just screaming his little ass off. And then Jessica Biel's like, okay, I can survive anything at this point. I'm basically immortal. I'm just going to decide to flip the car. She takes the wheel, chat, just turns it so fast. Oh, no, even before she does that, she turns it. And the truck is literally driving on 2 wheels for a good amount of a few seconds. It is ridiculous. And the CGI is bad, chat. It's like, and then the tall man's like, you're going to kill us both and David. Tall man gets it on both 4 wheels. Jessica Biel's like, no, you don't. We're all going to die. And she does it again, chat, and the fucking thing flips over. It skids. Jessica Biel, right into the windshield and everything. But so it comes to a stop, chat, after going like a good 100 feet just down the road. Fucking tall man, he breaks out of there, grabs David, and just runs off into the forest, chat. Runs off into the forest. But Jessica Biel, because she apparently is the goddamn Terminator, decides, I will get my son. And she busts out of that fucking truck, and she goes after him again, chat. Just Tom Cruise run. Not really a Tom Cruise run, chat, because now she's like, oh, I've been extremely injured. I hurt everywhere in the bazungas to the tippy toes, chat. And she, before she could even sit down, the forces to catch her breath, she stumbles into quicksand. What kind of place is this in Washington? This is quite a scene. Like the 10 minutes ago, chat, she was getting milk, and now she's in quicksand. Okay, it's all in the span of 10 goddamn minutes. So she's in quicksand, and she manages with her mangled German, chew toy, German Shepherd chew toy, which is her arm, by the way, pulls herself out of the quicksand, chat. She's like, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and just sit down and just kind of take it easy. And directly behind her, chat, like the tree stump that she rests up on, and she turns her head directly behind her, it's a fucking altar sculpture to the tall man. It's like, wow, that's convenient. it's like, what? Okay. Then she passes out for a bit. She starts hallucinating about David and chat, about the tall man, about the townsfolk. And then she comes to, she manages, also chat, I forgot to tell you this. So because of all these kidnap casings, there's an FBI agent who's been working them for like the past 10 years or so, and he sucks. He's super incompetent. Every time the people see him, like, oh, how you doing, Jim? I don't know what his name is, Jim. We're gonna just call him Jim. They're like, yeah, Jim's back. You're gonna find this kid? And Jim's like, oh, I'm gonna find this kid. They're like, yeah, sure he is. Yeah, okay. But Jessica Biel, so he's doing his investigation. He's traveling all around town. But Jessica Biel, she manages to stumble out of the forest shed. She's like, all right, I'm just gonna fucking lay in the middle of the road. And she collapses in the middle of the road shed, just blah. And then who pulls up, chap? It's fucking Jim, the FBI guy. What a coincidence. And Jim, he's like, oh, what the fuck is that? Like this, he did the kind of thing where it's like, I don't know if I should stop. Maybe I should I'm just gonna go around. But he doesn't, chap. He's a good Samaritan. So he pulls up, he's like, are you okay? And he's like, oh, fuck. Oh, it's goddamn Jessica Biel, the savior of the town. I'm going to help you, Jessica Biel. Don't worry about it. And so Chad puts her in the car. Well, the first thing you should have done immediately is call 911. Call an ambulance. But no, Chad, no. Not in goddamn Cold Rock. We don't call those people in the hospital. No, not them science folk. What that person needs right there, Chad, is a good old beer and a good old cup of coffee. If it really hurts, good old cup of coffee. Because he decides to take her to the diner, because that's the mecca of Cold Rock. And so even though she has been severely concussed, eaten by a fucking dog, quicksand, bazunga's gone, chat, take her to the diner. So he takes her to the diner, and apparently the whole town is there, and they're like, oh, Jessica Biel, go. And then, Jim's like, don't worry, guys. You know what? I've been driving for the last half hour. Call the ambulance, okay? Call an ambulance right now. You should have did that 30 minutes ago. So they're like, oh, Jessica Biel. No, come here. We have the owner of the diner, and she's hugging her. So I'm gonna help you, honey. I'm gonna help you. Oh, big old hug. And the Jim, the FBI guy's like, okay, I'm gonna go put out and the thing. I don't know what it's called, Chad. APD, MP, I forget what it is. But I'm going to put out a call and get some folks from Seattle, from that big old city town, to come down here and help us. Apparently, Cold Rock is 2 hours away from Seattle. And it's going to take these additional officers 2 hours just to come here. So it's like, this town is fucked, okay? Just fucking burn the town down, chat, and just sow the soil with salt. It's done, okay? But anyway, so the owner of the diner, she's like, Jessica Biel, what happened? Jessica Biel, she just can't say it, chat. She's too emotionally traumatized, right now. But then she notices, chat, that there's a lot of people at the diner tonight, more than usual. And they're all gathered around, they're all looking at her, which really makes sense they're looking at her, they're like, wow, this is the first exciting thing that's happened since the last kid that was kidnapped, huh? When was that gonna happen again? And they're all looking at her, chat, and then they do a jump scare because the diner owner sits down. She goes, bah! And it's like, ah! She gets a little scared. She's like, honey, I have gotten you some clean clothes in the bathroom. Go clean yourself up. You look like shit. And Jessica goes, okay. And then she fucking hobbles in there, chat. And she puts on the new pair of pants, new shirt. You see her bruised and mutilated body, chat, like wounds, like gushing goddamn wounds, okay? She was dragged by a fucking truck for at least, I'm going to say a half a mile. We're going to say half a mile. going 30 to 40 miles per hour. And then, chat, she knows what? She's like, I just got a funny feeling here. And she goes into the diner owner's room, where the diner owner has a fucking altar of newspaper clippings of all the missing children, chat. Of all the missing children. And she's like, okay, that's weird. And then right in the middle of that, chat, you know what it's a picture of? It's a picture of David. It's a picture of David, of her son. And she's like, oh my God. And then she gets the fuck out of there. The townspeople, we cut immediately to them. She sees like someone arguing outside the sheriff. She's like, we gotta kill her. We gotta kill Jessica Biel. She's not good folk. And Jessica Biel's like, okay, that is ominous. I'm gonna leave. So she leaves, chat. All the townsfolk, they're talking. It's like, no, we should have taken her right then and there when she showed up. And so it's like, oh my God, the townsfolk, they're in. All of them are in on the kidnapping, chat. It's like, whoa, this is crazy. It's a cabal, chat. It's a cabal of just these poor people just taking all these kids. What are they doing with them? Are they selling them? Are they selling them into the slave trade? Are they eating them for sustenance? We don't know. Is the goddamn diner owner baking them or something? I don't know. Making them the coffee? You allow everyone? No one orders any food there. It's always coffee, chat. It doesn't make any sense. But they're like, okay. And they go check out her, chat. One of the diner patrons. He's like, she's gone. They're like, fuck. Okay, we gotta send out a watch party. A search party, chat. We're gonna track her down, and like everyone leaves the diner. Everyone gets in their cars and go, woo! We're gonna go hunting. It's like kind of like the hunt all of a sudden. They're cocking their shotguns, chat. They got the beer, and they're going after good old Jessica Biel. But meanwhile, the sheriff's like, okay, guys, let's kind of keep somewhat order. We're not fucking savages. And then he gets into his car, chat. He opens it up. He talks to one of the other patrons, and he gets in there and check because he's heading into a particular place. He's gonna check on somebody, and then he pulls up to this dilapidated apartment complex. He goes ahead, he buzzes them, he's like, we're trying to look for her now, just stay put. And while this is all going, chat, fucking Jessica Biel was in the back of the police car, and she opens it, and she goes, bah, and she escapes. And now she's where the apartment complex is. And then the sheriff leaves, she goes, oh, must be where David, my son, is. And then she goes in there, chat, and it's just shit. It's literally made out of asbestos and tinnitus. That's exactly what it's made of. Tetanus. And she goes in there. And also tinnitus, chat, and terrible hearing as well. And she goes in there, chat, she's checking all these various rooms, just dilapidated. But she hears a TV on one of the upper floors playing the cartoons, David's favorite cartoon. She goes up there, chat. How do they know? So she goes up there, she sees the TV playing, and she's like looking around for David, and she sees David, and David's looking at her, and he goes, no, get away from me. It's like, why are you saying that, David? Why are you saying this? Is Jessica Biel. It's your mom. That's who it is. Why are you saying get away? And then all of a sudden, chat, bah, Jessica Biel, she's bopped in the head yet again. And it's the tall man. But in this case, chat, it's not a man. It's a woman. And in dramatic fashion, the person who's revealed it's the woman who, I forgot her name already. Mrs. Johnson. It's Mrs. Johnson, chat. The one who went, I don't want your coffee. It's her. It's her, chat. And then David, he comes slowly up to Mrs. Johnson, and she hugs Mrs. Johnson's legs, and he looks up and he goes, I love you, Mom. And it's like, oh my God. Oh my God. Chat, Mrs. Johnson isn't the tall man. And David looks down at Jessica Biel, and he says, she scares me so much, Mom. She scares me so much. And Jessica Biel looks at him like, you little shit. Jessica Biel is the tall man. And then Mrs. Johnson goes, I know, it's quite a twist after twist after twist, chat. Mrs. Johnson goes, bah, and she knocks Jessica Biel out again. And then, chat, she ties Jessica Biel to a chair. She puts David in a separate room, and now she's about to interrogate her. She wants to know what's been going on in this town for all this time. And Jessica Biel comes to, and Mrs. Johnson, who's now the hero of the movie, chat. She is literally the hero of the movie at this point. Who we thought she was crazy, that she was nuts, that she probably did something nefarious or something. But no, she's now the hero. And she's like, all right, Jessica Biel, what the hell have you been doing? Why did you take my son? Jessica Biel's like, how did you find us? She's like, I just went out for one of my walks trying to find the tall man, as the people around Cold Rock call him. And Bad Shields, thank you for the 10 pennies. My GF said she's seen this movie and it's on crack. Yes, it is. Right? It doesn't make any goddamn sense. Thank you for the 10 pennies, Bad Shields. Oh my God, chat. Whew. And so where are we right now? Okay, yeah. So the Mrs. Johnson, she's just interrogating. She's like, "Why? You know what? Why?" She's asking her like all these questions. Why do you take my son? Why did you do it? And Jessica Biel, not saying nothing, not saying nothing. And then because Jessica Biel's like, "How did you find us?" And Miss Johnson's like, "Oh, well, let me tell you. I was going out for one of my walks." Which apparently is all the way to the edge of Cold Rock, where your house is located. And I just happened to look in on the window one day, and I saw you hugging my son. And I was like, no, you had him. First of all, again, there's so many stupid things. Why would Jessica Biel have the son of one of the children that was kidnapped in the same town she works in? Doesn't make any goddamn sense. Anyway, oh. Got a new follower, chat. Surge787, welcome to stream. Hope you're having a good time. You're my new Huckleberry. But, and so Jessica Biel's like, it wasn't supposed to be this way, Mrs. Johnson. And she's like, you know how that makes a mother feel? Do you even know? I didn't even know who I was at first. You brainwashed him, didn't you? Jessica Biel's like, yeah, I kind of did brainwash him. But, you know, Jessica Biel just says, like, that's the way it is. I tried to make his life better. That's all I try to do is just make his life better. And then meanwhile, chat, I think fucking Jenny, the mute girl, I don't remember. I think she's in the dilapidated apartment for some reason. She just happens to be there. I don't fucking know. Maybe she's doing some drawings. And she sees all this going down. And she's like, oh, this is kind of fucked up. And so she goes ahead, she goes and gets David, chat. She gets David out of there because she thinks David's being kidnapped by the tall man. Who fucking knows? And then, chat, fucking, Miss Johnson's so mad at Jessica Biel, which she should be. I mean, you would be. And, Miss Johnson backhand Jessica Biel, breaks her bonds, everything. And then Jessica Biel's like, okay, mom bear mode. And she beats the shit out of Mrs. Johnson. And she's down. Jessica Biel, she walks out of there. She sees Jenny with David. Denny's like, I want nothing to do with this. I just want to be with my mom. And Jessica Biel's like, you come back with me. And so Jessica Biel kidnaps David again. At least we're seeing it real time, chat. And she goes to Jenny, you're an accomplice now. Come with me. They get into Mrs. Johnson's car, and they head back to Jessica Biel's house, where the nanny, she's managed to untie herself. Finally, she's been there for hours upon hours. And they're like, okay, we got to set this up. We got to call him. You got to call the tall man. And she's like, do you want me? And, the nanny's like, want me to take care of the kid? She's like, I'm going to take care of the kid. You just get ready, okay? You just get ready. Nanny's like, all right, fuck, I'll let you do your thing. But then Jenny's like, she's writing furiously, and she's like, please let the tall man take me. Why? Why, Jenny? Why would you want? Because apparently she just want to be. I mean, I get it. Her weird relationship that her mom and sister have with the boyfriend. It's like, it's not a good situation to be in. But you want to be kidnapped? because Jessica Biel reveals that I'm not actually the tall man. The tall man does exist, and I work with him to kidnap children. That's what we do. That's what we do. I'm not going to reveal what we do with them. No. but Jenny's like, I don't give a shit. Get me the fuck out of here. And at one point, guys, Jessica Biel, she takes little David, who's then been shot with some tranquilizer darts, takes him down in the basement, chat. But does Jessica Biel come back up with him? Nope. And then Jenny's like, I don't care what happens, just do this for me. Jessica Biel's like, I will call the tall man, but if you say anyone when he shows up, it's not going to be what you think. You'll never be seen again. So play this smart, Jane. Jenny goes, thank you so much. And Jenny goes off, chat. And then Jessica Biel, she goes back in the house, and Nanny's like, so what are we doing? She's like, nothing. It's over, Nanny. It's all done. Nanny's like, so can we leave? And they're like, no, they're going to track you down easy. They know you work for me. And they know. So Nanny's like, fuck. And the nanny goes off and do something. Jessica Biel, she goes upstairs, chat. She goes up there. She takes a little nap. She hears the people banging on the house and going, we're going to kill you, bitch. We're coming in. But, justifiably, I get it. I mean, this is like lynch mob still, chat. But I understand their anger. I understand their anger in this scene. And she's just, I'm going to take a little nap. She goes upstairs, she starts sleeping. Cut to morning, she's now in the chair. And there's a ton of sirens around the house. There's just a bigger mob. And like they're fucking throwing rocks through the windows. And then Jim, the FBI, comes up the stairs. He's like, why just set her there down by the window? She might get hit in the head. And he's like, come on, Jessica Biel, you're coming with me. He's like, listen to me. There's a lot of angry people out there. They're going to rip you apart. But what you got to do for me is you got to look down the ground. Don't look at them. Look down the ground and head straight for the fucking car. Well, first of all, if I'm looking down at the ground, how can I see where the car is? It doesn't matter. Jim, he's not a good FBI agent, chat. And they take Jessica Biel over there, chat. They get her out of the house. People are like, they're just trying to rip her apart. They're just beating the shit out of the police officers just to get at her. And they put her in the car, chat. Jessica Biel, she's not looking down at all, looking all over the place. They get her in the car, and they say, Jessica Biel, don't look out the window. Don't look out the back window. And so what was Jessica Biel fucking do? She looks out the goddamn back window, chat. Fucking rock comes in, bah! Right in the goddamn face. Cut to a new scene where they're pulling out glass, which is actually the opening of the movie. It's actually the opening movie. I missed that, chat. Where they're pulling out glass out of her swollen face, like a hit with that rock, chat, and examining all of her various other wounds. That, when she got chewed on by a German Shepherd, quicksand got everywhere. It's not good, chat. And then eventually, when Jessica Biel's all better, he's like, okay, Jessica Biel, what happened? You gotta tell me what's going on. And Jessica Biel goes in this whole speech, and she says, society is broken. Because of bureaucracy, millions of children suffer around the world, and there's nothing that we can do. But I did something. Those folks, those people, those downtrodden, they don't deserve these children. Not at all. They should have them ripped from them and to place into loving, caring homes with infinite resources. And Jim's like, that's not your decision to make, and that's really cruel. It's like, no, that is what it should be. And then he's like, all right, you're fucked up and crazy. Where are the kids? Where are the kids? And she goes, I mean, did you kidnap them? First of all, yeah, did you kidnap these children? And she goes, yep, I kidnapped all of them. And he goes, all right, where are they now? Where are they? Are they? Because he also just he goes underneath the house, chat. I forgot to mention this. So they're doing like research on the house and they're exploring it, and they find out that Cold Rock, it's all abandoned mines everywhere because the mine industry died, and her house is apparently on top of one of those huge mines, the fucking labyrinth of mines, chat, leading like 40 miles worth of mines right below her house, and also to the forest and stuff. He's like, fuck, these kids could be anywhere. This is going to take a long time. And so then he's like, just going to be like, where are they? Where? And she's not, she's like, we don't know, chat. We don't know. Meanwhile, we cut back to Jenny and Mom, chat, and Steve. And Jenny, she's looking outside, and Steve and Mom, they are wrestling. They're slapping each other. They're punching each other. And Jenny's like, don't do that. She doesn't say it, chat, but she's like, don't do that to my mom. And she gets on fucking Steve, chat. She's like, she's clawing at him. And he fucking throws her against a car. And Mom's like, no, don't do that to my daughter. And then she just fucking punches Steve in the fucking face, chat. Just gets him real good. I mean, it's like concussion worthy. Gets on the ground. And he's like, you know what? You know what, Ma? I gotta admit, you got me this time. You did real good. And Mom is like, I sure did. And they start laughing, chat. This family is so fucked up. They just start laughing. Oh, goddamn. Oh, spouse abuse. Isn't it wonderful, chat? And Jenny's like looking at this with horror, which you should. Just look at it horror. She's like, all right, fuck this. And Mom's like, she'll be fine. Protect her king. Thank you for the 10 biddies. Washington, I'm bummed that town doesn't exist. I in real life just take my younger brother. Take them, man. It's like, you don't want to end up in Cold Rock. That's what you want to end up in. And so Jenny, she runs off, chat, and she goes to the location where she knows she's going to meet the tall man, the location that Jessica Biel gave her. She waits there, chat, and who does she find there? The tall man. Tall man goes, get in that car, and she gets in the car, and they drive off, chat. They drive off, and then we cut like several months later. And now we're back in the prison, and it's Jim, the FBI guy. He's welcoming him in. Mrs. Johnson. Remember Mrs. Johnson, who was the hero of the movie, chat? He's like, listen, we can't get through to her at all. She just shuts down, but we feel like, you have to, this is going to make you mad, but try to appeal to her as a mother to get any information about these kids. We're trying to find them. Help us try to find them. Mrs. Johnson's like, I'll try. So then we got Jessica Biel on one side of the glass, chat, and Mrs. Johnson on the other side. They're talking to each other. And Jessica Biel, she does her whole thing. The same speech she did to, Jim, the FBI guy. She says, yeah, I mean, my whole thing is I'm just trying to help all these kids, and it's just what I do. They deserve a loving home. And Mrs. Johnson's like, what happened to him? It's because, you give me all this talk right here, but just answer me two things right now. Are they dead? Are our children dead? Jessica Biel goes, yeah, they're dead. They're dead. And Miss Johnson's like, where are they? And she goes, in the tunnels. They're all in the tunnels, and they're in the forest. That's where they are. They're in Cold Rock. And just Johnson's like, I'm fucking done. She leaves, chat. Jessica Biel, she's getting all water-eyed. She's crying. They lead her back to the cell. The fucking prisoners want to rip her apart. Justifiably so, chat. And then she goes in there. And then we cut 3 months later, chat. A lot of time jumps right here. 3 months later, I think. Maybe it's 6. No, yeah, it's 3 months. And we see Jenny. Jenny, she's like in a weird room filled with toys. And it's like in a dilapidated apartment complex or some shit. But it looks like shit. But, you know, she's putting on makeup and everything. She's putting on a dress. It's like, what's going on here? What is this? And then she hears a knock on the door, and then she presents herself, chat. And who walks in? The fucking tall man. But he has someone with him. He has an older woman who's walking in there with him. And the older woman approaches Jenny, and she goes, you know what, it's probably not what you'd expected here. But hey, you're no, I'm no spring chicken, but you're no spring chicken either. And she goes, you know what, we'll try to make this work. And she goes, the tall man, chat, and the tall man is revealed, and it's Jessica Biel's dead husband. He's the tall man. He faked his death, chat. It's a cabal. And then it's revealed, chat, that this is a kidnapping operation ring that doesn't accept money, but what they do is that they kidnap children from homes that they, you know, think are abusive or they perceive as abusive, and then they sell the kids or basically give the kids to rich people. That's what this is. That's what this is. And he's like, no, we don't accept any money. I won't take it. It's an insult to her memory, to my wife, who sacrificed herself for Jenny and David. So David's alive too, Chad. David's alive too, we find out. And the old woman's like, I understand. I get it. I saw it on the news. Apparently, and this is really fucked up. Apparently, all the wealthy people in America or around the world, they know of this kidnapping ring, and they steal the children from poor people. It's fucked up. Yeah, it's true. It's true. I am not lying. Am I lying, Protector King? Am I lying? Protector King, the ending is so hard to make you. It's trying, but it's like, no, this is wrong. This is absolutely wrong. Thank you, Protector King, for the 10 biddies. And the old woman, you know, she takes the fucking Jenny, and then we cut, I think, like 6 months later, or maybe it's like a year. It's like 6 months to a year, chat. And, you know, we go into the house of the old lady. She lives in this opulent apartment, you know, very, I mean, she's old. She's like in her 60s, chat. She's like maybe 60 at most. No, 60 at the very least. She's walking around. She's directing all of her servants to do stuff. And then we cut to Jenny's room, and Jenny's art has improved significantly. She's made these amazing portraits and drawings and things. And, no, they also, they changed Jenny's name. Like, they basically, Jenny's gone, and they have her a new identity for her. Her name is Vera at this point. We're going to call her Jenny for the sake of convenience. That's how you know her. That's how I know her. And the old woman's like, Jenny, you're going to be late for class. And she goes, oh, don't worry. I'll go right now. So she's talking now, chat. She's talking. She's no longer mute. So the speech therapy has worked because she's in a more positive environment. And then she goes off. She keeps narrating, chat, going to class. And then what does she see off in the distance, chat? David. David's just out there playing, and he's got a new family too. He's got a lot of families, all right. This is his third one, so third time's the charm, hopefully, for David. And then Jenny's like, you know, sometimes I think about going home, but nah. I think this is the best thing, right? Right? Credits, chat. The tall man. That's the movie. It is, man, my camera's freaking out. I don't know why I have that weird flashing thing. But that's Tall Man, chat. That is the film. It is bizarre. There are so many twists, and you don't buy a single one of them. You really don't. Honestly, I'd probably give this. I'll give it a rental just because it's worth just to see with a group of people, just to laugh at how ridiculous it can be. For that's why it's rental. But otherwise, it'd probably be like a low sumo bullshit. Very low sumo bullshit. But it is ridiculous. Wait, so they're trying to be portrays the good guys? I mean, for the most part, they are. But then they're kind of going like, is this right or is it not? You decide, audience. You decide.